Well, let's talk about Manchester City first then, because obviously that is going to be Arsenal's opponent midweek. There's lots to unpack here. They got a win against Aston Villa. Were they looking more like themselves with what we've seen of late from them, Janusz?
Yes, I think Premier League has helped them in a way. I don't know long term with everything that's going on, but they needed a
What
catalyst.
in being a siege mentality for them?
Yeah, I just think that, sometimes the manager voice gets lost, especially for players that accomplished everything, and maybe the season hasn't gone the way it's supposed to go, right? But we've seen Manchester City go on the runs, and most importantly, I think they're getting key players back. I think this is their time of the season. They've shown that over the years as well. And I don't know if they're going to look back from it, because look, you can tell me all you want about Nathan Ake, you can tell me all you want about Akanji, but we all know that it's just a matter of time before before you get Ruben Dias, who actually came back and looked the part. Of course, John Stones, who was unplayable or exceptional, I should say, before his injury. He may come back as well. Aymeric Laporte, obviously experienced and a player that knows how to win trophies as well. So they're getting the right players. I also like the formation, the 3-2-2-3. That was very important. Bernardo Silva just about everywhere, right? Right next to Rodri, who, again, I've said the best in the business in that position. Yes, I'm going to get an argument, maybe even from myself, about Casemiro because it closed, but I still would pick Rodri in that. And Bernardo Silva was just about everywhere. That pushes De Bruyne and Gundogan a little bit further. Jack Grealish is playing the best football in his career at Manchester City, showing me off because I had plenty of doubts about him, as you know. So look, I mean, this is Manchester City that is putting things together. So just imagine, I mean, if we think that Manchester City are off, look where they are. They started to play better, and I think they're going to go from strength to strength.
It's a weird thing to say, given that there's been those allegations and what they're currently going through with the Premier League and the charges. But have they been able, well, it looks as though they have been able to use it to their advantage. Is it actually been right now, in terms of the title race, a good thing for them to have when they weren't quite looking themselves, and now they have something that Pep Guardiola can use to say, okay, it's us against them?
No, I don't think it's a good thing. That's for sure. And you don't really want outside forces influencing or motivating your players. That's not a good thing. It maybe help Pep Guardiola, but that's Pep's job, right? If that doesn't happen, what kind of Manchester City do we see? I still think to a degree it's the end of the cycle a little bit, but I think Manchester City will focus on that. I think, that got the attention of everybody because everybody has their pride. You fight for the club. You saw what Pep Guardiola did, right? With all the things that he said before, that if he finds out that people are lying to him, he's going to leave. He came out and fought for the club, hopefully for the right reasons. We don't know where the investigation is going to take us. It's going to be, 2, 3, 4 years from now. Who knows how long that's going to take? And when it does come down, whatever it may be, it's going to be a different Manchester City team. These players want to win. And I just think that maybe they lost hope a little bit. There's a little bit of a malaise in the team, but I think not just this win, but everything that's happening around them is going to galvanize Manchester City for the rest of the season.
Let's talk about Erling Haaland and the chance that he won't be in this fixture due to injury. Obviously, it wasn't his day against Spurs, but he did cause Villa some problems. So what does it mean for Man City if he isn't there against Arsenal?
Probably in the bigger scheme of things, nothing, because we've seen for years, after Kun Aguero, I guess, Manchester City being able to win Premier League without a true number 9. Again, for as long as everybody else is doing their job, there's more than enough for Manchester City to beat anybody on a given day. So it's not the end of the world. I think he's going to be available. We've said here and dissected, are they better? Are they worse? I think, that assist, whatever that might have been, just hammering the ball across the 6-yard box and Gundogan being on the far post probably helps if you just want to focus on him scoring goals and not doing anything else. Well, guess what? He did something, right? And he came off injured supposedly at halftime. So actually, it wasn't a bad game for him. And look, it was such an easy win. The Manchester City at their best against Villa team that lost to Leicester City 4-2. I get that, but it was no problem. 3-0 first half, job done.
So when you said you think he's going to be there, and you were talking about the formation for City in this game as well, I wonder if there was anything in this game that Pep used with his eye on this game against Arsenal to kind of put Arteta off and leave him guessing as to what lineup he's going to go with and which players he's going to go with. Do you think there was anything of some tactical mind games in that for Arteta?
I would have to say absolutely not. You'd like to think that Mikel Arteta knows everything about Pep Guardiola by now, right? I mean, what surprise? I mean, he was on the bench with Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. He's doing a lot of the same things that Pep Guardiola does in terms of his tactics. So I think there'll be absolutely zero surprises. I think Mikel Arteta, who knows? Maybe he knows Pep Guardiola better than Pep knows himself.
Okay, so what's your prediction for this game? How do you see it playing out?
I just think that this is, because Premier League is so wonderful and, one of the best in the world, in my opinion, when you look across, it's going to be a fun rest of the season. I think Manchester City are going to go and beat Arsenal. I really do.
And if they go and do that, what does that then mean for the title race?
Well, then you're just going to put a little bit more doubt on Arsenal. I don't know for what reason. Nothing's going to change, in my opinion, even if Arsenal lose. It's a great season. It's a building block for them. It's a bonus. It's a chance of winning a Premier League for Arsenal that they didn't expect. We'll see the character of the team. We'll see if Arsenal and Mikel Arteta learn and change things a little bit for the rest of the season. They're still going to be in it, by the way. Even if they lose, it's going to be a three-way fight. So no problems. But yeah, it's I think something that we expected. At least I expected Arsenal to have this sort of a period. And I looked at the schedules here. And no matter how I look, it's always about the next game. Manchester City are actually having 3 away games in a row right now because this is a makeup game. Obviously, looking here, go to Forest and Bournemouth. So I think Arsenal are going away to Villa, and they're going to see Unai Emery there. Game at a time, but I think that Arsenal will learn from that, and maybe that soft period is something that they needed.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.